straight out of Jersey with JerZey JZ. Coming up next on Straight Outta Jersey, he is the partner of one of the greatest tag teams in wrestling history. He has held numerous wrestling tag team titles and one of the best sellers in wrestling. He is in the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame and WWE Hall of Fame. Straight Outta Jersey welcomes Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express.
Welcome everybody to Straight Outta Jersey, and my guest today is a legend. He is one half of the greatest tag team in the world, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, and one of the best sellers, in my opinion, Ricky Morton. How you doing, Ricky?
Matt, I'm doing wonderful. Joe, thank you for having me on your show.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it. You know, I could eat up all the compliments all night if you want me to.
Well, we're going to get started.
Nowadays I do a lot of shows. Yeah, I think the people don't come to see me wrestle. I think they come to see if I'm still alive. But no, buddy, I still check out this shirt I got on, everybody.
Let me see what you got on there.
Oh, look at this.
Look at that.
Vintage. It's vintage. You got a little Zuzi top there. All right.
So, Ricky, I know your father was in the wrestling business, but where are you from and how did you get started in the business?
Well, this accent I got, I'm from New Jersey.
No, sound down south, I'm sure.
I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee, but right now I live in Bristol, Tennessee. I'm up in the mountains up here on the east side. You know, it's a small town, very cold. I'll tell you that right now. What else did you just ask me? I forgot, man.
How did you get in the business?
How did I get into business? You know, it was it was back in the territory days, and my dad, it's when times were different. And I never forget, my dad was a worker, and he, we didn't have much in our life, but I never had a hungry day. I never got cold, never got hot. I always had clean clothes to wear. So good luck for that. But my dad was a referee, and he refereed for Nick Goulas, and he'd leave sometimes for 6 or 7 months and maybe go to Florida or for Jimmy Crockett. But that was back when I was a kid. But then when he came home, my dad had to pull the wrestling ring. He refereed the matches. And see, that was territory days. That was every night. And and I went with him. I had to go help him put the ring up and all that. But getting into wrestling, at my time, I had, they didn't have all the glamour that you have now. And it really didn't hit me till after I got out of high school that I wanted to be a wrestler. I wanted to get into business, and it just fell into place.
It just happens.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's hard to answer a question like that because I grew up in the wrestling business.
You grew up in the business.
And
correct.
It just, I just followed that road and kept going.
So then when did you get teamed up? Was that in 1983 with Jerry Lawler got you and Robert together?
Yes, it was in 1983. But can I explain and to you and a lot of people that really don't understand the wrestling business? I have a wrestling school where I train people. And it's not to train you. It's to make you understand what our business is about. And back then it was all territory days. And my dad, I was in the wrestling business. I worked for Nick Goulas, and then I finally got a job in Memphis where my dad was at. And I'd ride with him. And my dad always used to tell me, he says, listen to me. In territories, you're never going to get over the owner or the booker. You're never going to, no matter what. No matter how much fights you're never going to get over them. He said, but always remember this. You got to have a semi-main event. And that's tag team wrestling. And my first tag team partner, and I love because I went on the hunt. A guy named Sonny King. If you don't know who Sonny King is, everybody out there, you need to get your history book out. Get to know him. Sonny was loved him, big man, and big bad. But he taught me, because understanding the business, he taught me some of his psychology. Then I went in Memphis. Then I went to Oklahoma to another territory, and I needed a tag team partner. So I brought Eddie Gilbert in as my wrestling partner.
Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert.
Oh yes, man, and what we had a great time there. Then when I came back to Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
I was teamed up with the best babyface and another guys. Get you Webster dictionary. I can't even talk here, man. But I teamed up with a guy named Ken Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care what anybody says and everything. You know, some people would tell me, Ricky Morton, you're the best baby face that ever was in your time. I said, no, Ken Lucas was. And that's who I learned from. Ken Lucas taught me how to sell, how to give to these people their want, how to make that comeback, that fiery comeback, and keep those people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And see, me and him went to San Antonio, Texas for Joe Blanchard. And being there, what an experience I learned, because I was with Ken, but we worked an angle with Gino Hernandez and Tully Blanchard. And here we go. We're main event somewhere. Here I'm with Ken, and I'm with this Ken Lucas guy. He's teaching me, and guys, I'm telling you, we did good. The territory did great.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lawler come to San Antonio, and
Jerry
this
the
is
King.
Great. The Fabulous Ones were in Memphis. They were tag team in Memphis. Stan Lane and Steve Kern.
Steve Kern.
Well, at that time, Jerry Lawler come to San Antonio. And he said, Ricky, listen, I'm thinking about going opposition of Jerry Jarrett. They wasn't getting along, and they had and Jerry was going to go out on his own. And Jerry was over there. I don't know. He said, I want you and Robert to come in and be. You want to put you with Robert Gibson. We didn't even have a name, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to team y'all up. And, you know, and to me, it was going back home. Me and Kenny had a great run, and Kenny was ready to go back to Pensacola, where he was from. Mm-hmm. So we went into Memphis, and that's how we got put together by Jerry Lawler. And thank you for letting me explain this. You know,
yes, no problem.
Because when I'm explaining things, not only, but the people that are listening, I want you to understand my business. I understand mm-hmm. that, you know, I just didn't walk through a door and they says, all right, you're the Rock and Roll Express, let's go. It's mm-hmm. hard-ass work.
It's hard.
Yeah, no, it's hard-ass work. You go into small territories, starving to
mm-hmm.
death. You know, you first break in a business, you're not making any kind of money. You know,
mm-hmm.
And it's hard to explain. You know, I didn't get sent to NXT and get $75,000 automatically.
No.
You understand me?
Yes.
I got paid by the night. And, dude, when you work for Nick Goulas, if you make $10 that night, you were doing good. That's how come we had 5 or 6 wrestlers in the car traveling. So this is what I want you to know. It was, you know, everything was hard, you know, just trying to get to learn and understand the business.
Yeah. When you were with Robert, though, it seemed to click. Everything seems to be working correct.
It did click, but it didn't click in Memphis. You know, like I'm trying to tell you, this is, and I want you, this is another thing, and I love for people to understand and know. Mm-hmm. No, they put me and Robert together, but you know, then, you know, Jerry Jarrett and Lawler made up. So now Jerry Jarrett, the Fabulous One's his team. So me and Robert are playing second fiddle to the Fabulous Ones in the show. And buddy, but it didn't matter. They were over, buddy. I'm not taking that from them. But Robert was tag team partners with his brother, you know, Ricky and Robert Gibson. So Robert already knew the tag team, and I knew the tag team. So when Jerry Lawler put us together, it clicked. But when it clicked, our matches were great and everything. But this is at the time when Vince McMahon was starting to get his world thing. You know, the United States, he's going into territories, and all these promoters are pissed off, and all these promoters are wanting to get back to him.
Yep.
So they ran a big show in Memphis. All the Vern Gagne, Bill Watts, Eddie Graham, Crockett's. They all brought their top guys in to make this big big show, TV show to go against Vince with, and which really didn't make it a damn. It didn't make it. Didn't make it. You don't care what they done; it wasn't going to happen. But needless to say, Robert and I, we had a match that night with the Nightmares, Ken Wayne and Danny Davis, and we put them over because we wasn't in the click for that TV with all their promotion. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But after, and Bill Watts was just fixing to retire, and they had a big meeting when the show was over, and they're all in the back, and needless to say, all the promoters are putting over their guys, how good they did, and they did that. But Eddie Ram, he said, I don't know about y'all. This is really cool. And it was really the first time that we ever stuck out. But he said, I don't know about y'all. He said, but I watched all the talent tonight. And he said, see that blonde-headed boy over there? He didn't know my name. See that blonde-headed boy over there? I just watched him go to the ring and sell for 20 minutes and never bury his partner. And it was the greatest thing I ever seen. I don't know about y'all, but we need people like that know how to work. Oh, God, everybody was flipping out. But see, being at the right place at the right time, and guys, wrestlers, if you try and break into this business, you got to be at the right place at the right time. But what I'm trying to tell you, you have to go get the business that don't come to you. So, like I was saying, Bill Watts was retired. And Bill Watts didn't want a booker in his territory that wrestled. So that was right down my alley. Right place, right time.
Gotcha.
So Bill Watts come to me and said, listen, I'm retired, and I'm going to bring Bill Dundee, which Bill Dundee was in Memphis. He's going to be the booker, and we're taking that Southern style to Louisiana to give you a shot. They didn't say, so we give you a shot at the top tag team, babyface tag team, if you want to come in.
Wow.
Well, Bill has already did all that stuff in Memphis. And gosh, man, you couldn't understand in the 80s, 79. Memphis, Tennessee. Excuse me.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry, everybody.
No problem.
Memphis, Tennessee. It sold out every Monday night, every Tuesday, Louisville, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana. I mean, it just was there, and it was just the chemistry of Jarrett and Lawler and Dundee putting this stuff together. So Bill Dundee took that to Louisiana. I mean, I was seeing on social media, some of the things we do. We rubbed Jimmy Cornette's face in the cake, and excuse me, buddy, I'm sorry.
No problem.
And damn, it's just kicking in on
Hope you're
me.
not sick.
But being at the right place at the right time, because they never seen this before. All these seen was big guys. Yes. And to tell you the truth, they never seen two young baby faces, young wrestlers that coming into the territory. Now, I think when we come in there, Abdullah the Butcher was a top baby face, because I think Bill Watts just beat him. So they got to turn in baby face to bring the other heel in to beat Abdullah for Bill Watts to work with. That's how it works, you see? But now we got to start all over. Now here we come in, the All-American guys. And what's the first thing they did? They put us in angle with the Russians, Nikolai Volkov and Barry Dorso.
Barry Dorso, yes.
Yeah, Crusher Khrushchev. But listen, it was just perfect. U.S., and it was at the time when we were having trouble with the United States. And they're on there talking, and Nikolai was so cool and so good, easy to work with. And Barry Dorso was just learning in the business. And I'd be daggum, buddy. That was in 19, and we went there to Memphis. But they put us together in 83 in Memphis. But I think it was like 84 when we went to Louisiana. And listen, this is when you know that you got it going on. But see, I was too young, too wanting far advanced to jump, because back then you had no control of the gates of the doors, and that, I read Bill Watts's book not long ago, and it says in there, and he says this. He said, the time that the Rock and Roll Express was in my territory, I made more money than the 10 years I owned it.
Wow.
Can you understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
Okay. And then
that was the time where you got paid for putting people in the seats. That's how you get really the people.
No, buddy, you don't. Yeah, but you used to. But but I always remember this: promoter gets the first count. Okay. Yeah, you think that you make money, but no, we didn't really. I mean, we made money. It was good for me. When you're making $1,500 and $2,000 a week, it's good. But you've got to understand, we had to pay for all our stuff, transportation, hotels. You had to pay for all that. And that was even for Crockett too. When we went, and listen to me, when you go from the Memorial Coliseum downtown New Orleans to the big college out there, that big arena, basketball arena, to the Superdome. And don't get me wrong, they cut the Superdome in half with the big, and it holds 40,000 people. And the night Robert and I wrestled the Road Warriors, and it was an 8-man tag team. It was 40,000 people in there.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I never, I couldn't even hear in the ring, rock and roll so loud. And
is it true that you guys broke records that Elvis held?
Oh, yes, especially in Louisiana.
Wow.
Shreveport, Monroe, Lafayette, and especially in New Orleans too. I mean, yes, we did. We broke, and not only there, even when we left here, because Elvis went all across the country, and until they built these bigger buildings. We go from like I'm saying, high school gyms. The National Guard armories to the high school gyms to the civic centers. And, it was wild. It was unbelievable. And
wow. I heard that, Robert, and I think you actually said too, that when you guys went to stadiums, you guys were so hot, you guys were young, good looking.
Went to what?
When you guys would go to stadiums, correct?
Yes.
You guys would, as soon as you get out of the car, the time you would make it to the stadium, walking in, girls would be ripping your shirts off.
Oh yeah, that was going into the buildings, buddy. I mean, like Greensboro. Now I'm skipping over to where was that? When we went to the Crockett's and we went worldwide on TV. Holy crap, buddy! You just couldn't. I bought a house in Charlotte, and I woke up one morning. There had to be 300 people in my front yard. Just out there, and they got my, they stole my lawn, my patio furniture, and they everything. I mean, finally the police had to come out there. But yes, Doug Dillinger, that was you might have seen him on NWA, and Ric Flair talked about him. We got him his job. He was a police officer there.
Oh wow!
But they couldn't get us in and out of the buildings. I mean, people would rush, looking at me smashed up against the windows. and Robert, I remember Robert bought a new Trans Am, and look here, man, they just tore it all to pieces outside of it, man. Trying to, we couldn't go. We stuck in that car for an hour and a half because the police couldn't get to us.
Well, yeah, you guys were hot.
But when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. Okay.
Now, is it true also that you did an album? An actual album?
Well, no, I did a little 45 record,
Okay.
And remember now, I always tell people this, and it's my friend, don't ever be afraid. Listen to me. Don't ever be afraid to be afraid. And that's a lot. That's saying a lot if you really, because I can't sing a lick. Now, I went, but buddy, it's there. They want me to do it. I done it. I didn't care. I didn't give a shit. You hear me? Look here. Now, I did a 45 that, records go platinum, gold, and all that. Mine went plywood. And no, actually, they sold it at the Rock and Roll Express the fan pack. It's
Yeah.
come in. God, they sold a lot of them, bro. They sold a lot of them. I did a couple of concerts, and
Did you get good money from that or no?
what's that?
Did you make good money from that or no? From that album?
No. See, what you got to understand me is now I'm going to get into a situation that I want people to understand, and I have a son that wrestles. Kerry, have you met Kerry yet? Oh,
yes,
buddy,
he's a great guy.
Buddy, he's ahead of his time. He's only 22. He graduates college the 28th this month, and that's just what I try, even at my school, is to get all the education that you can.
Yeah.
All of it that you can, because, I mean, look at The Rock. Do you hear me? Very educated man. Rock changed our business into something that it never even thought about being. One of the see, it was all because of his education. He's an actor now. He's got all this. What's he worth? $800 million or something like that. So, but you see, because I didn't realize how bad Jimmy Crockett robbed us. Do you hear me? Robbed us. Wow. We're doing $100,000 houses, and you got to. You might think but the ticket prices wasn't like they are today, brother. It was $10 to get in, and you doing $100,000 houses, $120,000, $130,000 houses, and you're getting paid $800 that night. But see, then when you put it together every night at the end of the week, you might have a good week. Wow. But you got to pay for everything yourself. If you fly, you got to pay for it yourself. And you got to get a hotel. You don't have nobody get your hotel room ready. It's ready when you get there. You got to go find one. You got to go rent a car to get one. Then Jimmy Crockett bought these airplanes, and but you had to pay for it. He took it out of your check to ride on it. And then when you got to the towns, you had to have your own ride to the building. You had to get your own hotel room. You see, people don't understand the things that Robert and I fought for the boys. And that's the whole thing I did the whole time I was there. After I finally realized that hell, Robert, you and I are just getting robbed. It's too late. It was too late. So, go on ahead.
So I want to move forward a little bit. In 1993, you guys debuted in the WWF. How come you weren't there long enough? What was the reason?
Well, I'm going to tell you the story. We were, we was in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and we went there and did a couple of their things with Jimmy Del Rey and them to go there. But then Jimmy Cornette closed down Smoky Mountain. Okay. And we wasn't there long, but we were there long because they put us on we went there, they put us on like a $500 a week salary. Okay. You hear what I'm saying? Okay. But Jimmy Cornette, even though we did so much and been through a lot of it, Jimmy just got us a job. We didn't have no job. And then when you did work, I got to say this for Vince McMahon now, he paid the shit out of the boys. When we did work, we got paid that $500 a week no matter what. Wow. But Jimmy just got a job. We were lost in the shuffle there, buddy. I mean, they already had their guys. I'm talking about Hunter Hensley and Brian Armstrong. The X-Pac, all those guys. They were their tag teams, and you had the Undertaker, and you had all. We was just lost in the scrambled eggs, buddy. But it was all right because, we made a couple of shows. And when we did work the house shows, I can say this now, Vince paid the hell out of us, buddy. I couldn't believe. I knew we went overseas for them to Germany and Switzerland and somewhere. And what a hell of a check I got when I got home. I couldn't believe more than I made damn 3 months anywhere else.
I gotta ask you about Vince McMahon. He's been in the paper recently. You don't have to answer anything if you don't want to, but did you notice anything about him or how do you feel towards Vince?
Okay, listen to me. And I can't say nothing bad about Vince because I always treat people the way they treated me. He was always good to me. I'm not good to me. Vince is a fucking billionaire, so and he watches because they come at him at every direction, trying to be his best friend, and he really don't give a shit about nobody. But that's not me. And I don't know what he did there. But I just, I know, and this is the reason I like him, is I know he made a bunch of people. I mean, look at these guys that work for, they get what is it now? $350,000 to go up to the main roster. I mean, when you think about that, dude, that's a lot of damn money for a year. Yep. And that's not counting your stuff they sell for you, your merchandise. I mean, these guys they are killing it. So, I mean, understand, I can't say nothing bad about it. Wow. But that's what I look at because, see, in the business, I always looked up for the boys and the girls of our wrestling business. And see, when he pays them like that right there, now, the guys right now there, they don't understand because they didn't know that you made $10 a night when you first broke into business. They have to get sent to NXT and everything's paid for them. You see, they're nurses, they got their doctors, they got things in here, they got a weight room, they got, when you go there, it's unbelievable what all they got. Wow. See, they don't understand. Wow. So to me, and I don't know what Vince did in his personal life. It's none of my business. So I don't know. And I'm truly, if I knew, I'd tell you. I mean, it's one thing that I will say, a man that speaks the truth is not afraid to stand alone. Okay.
I'm going to tell you, I knew New Jack back in the day, New Jack the wrestler, and he told me that his career, he learned so much from Ricky Morton and bases his career on learning from you. What do you have to say about Jack?
Oh, I love New Jack. He first came to Smoky Mountain, and guys, anybody that's listening to this, please don't take this and go with a direction. We're down south. You hear me? And here these guys come into Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And what's the first thing old Cornette does on TV? They Rodney King me on TV. Yes. God damn.
Yes.
Oh, they Rodney King me, and New Jack drove a Corvette. Okay? And I told him, I said, buddy, you need to get you another car when you come up here. I said, because you don't know what's fixing to fucking happen here, buddy. You were up here and we're down south. How can you put it? But so, and then, they Rodney King me on TV. And what do they do on the next TV? They tarred and feathered me. Okay. Holy shit. And they had so much heat, and I just kept trying to get the New Jack. I telling him, I said, listen to me, buddy. I'm wrestling one night, and all of a sudden he just jumps out of the ring and starts beating the hell out of the guy on the front row. And before I get him back, to get him, bam, to get everything back, getting back. And I asked him, God damn, New Jack, hit that guy before he called me in. Wow. Now listen to me. Times have changed, and I don't use that word. It don't even come in my vocabulary. You understand me? Of course. But I told him, I said, dude, look where we at. We're down south. I don't think there's a black man in the crowd out there. And it's sold out. Do you know why? Because you Rodney King me. You tarred and feathered me on TV. I mean, you come out doing interviews, eating watermelon and fried chicken. I mean, this is crazy. Do you hear me? This is crazy stuff.
Yeah, this is crazy times.
I says, now you're over hitting me in the head with a chain, and you expect that fella to go, hey, excuse me, Mr. Black Man, would you quit that? You know what? And it clicked to New Jack. He went, holy shit, I never thought about that. I said, yeah, bub. Understand me, this is our business. Okay? You got to deal with it. And I was telling you earlier about him driving that Corvette. I'm driving down the road one day, and I see an old van in front of me, like it had big wheels on one side and little ones, and it's going down the road like this. And I pull up, and Mustafa was looking at me, and New Jack was driving it. And I started laughing. He rolled the window down. He said, "I parked my Corvette." He said, they done cut his tires 2 or 3 times, broke his antennas, all his mirrors off of it. He said he learned that lesson. But New Jack was my buddy. But you know what? When you work, see, that's how I learned. See, all the guys out there listen to me now. I mean, I'm giving a scoop lesson here. You can't learn nothing in this business till you wrestle somebody better than you. Yep. You hear me? See, I had the opportunity when I was younger, always wrestle somebody better than me. I mean, dude, I was in the ring with the Midnight Express. I was in the ring with Nikolai Volkov, Hercules. You see, they've been wrestling a long time. You know, your Ken Lucas said, I got to spend on the road to learn this business. You know, see, that's what on the independent, you got to learn to work with somebody that is better than you are. And boy, when you do that, you'll really learn in our business. So that's what happened with me and New Jack. And I took my time with him. Our stuff was different back then. We did, even in Smoky Mountain, we didn't sit down and go over the matches. We went to the ring and done it. And we would call it in the ring. That's how you learn to work. And New Jack, you know, and I loved working with him. You know, he had a lot of heat, buddy. You know, me, my thing is selling and boom, and oh my God, these people losing their damn mind. And New Jack just eating it up because he didn't give a shit either. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think is missing in today's wrestling?
Well, buddy, where you want me to start at? The same part. They don't understand it. They don't understand the match. You know, I'm waiting for them to shoot Hugo out of a cannon, but when they do, you know, he's going to kick out on 2. So what the hell? You know, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot in our business, I can see they got to figure out, especially in tag team wrestling. You know, they don't understand that the match is not about them. And see, that's one thing that you got to understand. This business is not about you. It's not. It's just your turn if you're on top. It's not going to last forever. This business is about everybody. It takes this person to get this guy over, for this guy here to work, and for this guy to work. And then when you're sitting there butting heads with everybody and everybody wanting to get their shit in, is the way I call it, it's hard. You know, I go, you know, listen to me, I'm 67 years old. I know I'm old. Most people come to see if I'm still alive, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. But but I enjoy what I do, especially, you know, here in the last month or 2, I have lost 20 pounds, and I'm trying to get 10 more off because before I retire, I want to do an hour time limit.
Wow.
And it's like other night, I was wrestling the C.W. Anderson and his partner. We absolutely tore the house down because why? They let me sell. They let me sell. And I said, listen, dude, only hit me one time. I could sell that. I can't sell 10 punches to the head. I can't sell 50 kicks to my head. In real life, you're dead. I can't sell that. I can't sell dead. Okay? Because I always stay alive, keeping them people behind me, reaching out, selling, making them think it's them in the ring getting the hell beat out of them. That's the secret. You see, and when I gave Robert that hot tag, and Robert come in, boom, 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 that was making them think that they were doing. Watch out in the crowd; they're throwing punches up and cuts. And, you know, I'm looking for one of them to drop kick somebody out there on the floor because we got them into it that much.
Yeah.
Today's business is, gosh, you just try to put, you know, me. Being in the business all my life, I don't even watch wrestling because when I turn it on, I know who's going to go over, who ain't going to go. I can tell already. I know where they're going with this match and who ain't going over this match and what this guy here's trying to do. But you don't need to try to do that right there because you're in there to get this guy over. You see, I told this is the secret when you're a champion, when the guy you wrestle, make the people think he's the champion. Do you see? and then you
Good.
tear that damn house down. That's the secrets that nobody understands. You know, I don't. If you know, and it's like even on it's what nobody understands is I don't like to win, especially if I'm coming back. I mean, when I go to a show where it's just there and we're there that night, yeah, you make the people happy. But if I'm coming back in 2 weeks, I don't want to win. I can't draw money like that. I can't sell your building out. But if you screw me in the match, you see, then we always got something to come back with.
Yeah,
And that's the way it works. That's the way our business works. And they have got way away from it. But see, I don't know because I'm not a part of that corporate business. I hadn't been there. I can tell you one thing, I could figure it out.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
If I was there, I could figure it out, and I believe I could help some people. But
you could.
But I'm not. And let me tell you, I work for NWA.
Yes.
And I really enjoy it there. I don't have that big pressure on me there, and I know the guy, and you got to understand the guy we work for is somebody that everybody wants to be, a rock star. Billy Horton, and Billy, but Billy, I got to know Billy, and he loves wrestling as much as I do.
That's good.
You see, and then that's when it's fun. Do you hear me?
Yep.
It's not about what the office said, or it's not about the corporate business over here. I'm in the production meetings and understanding what he wants, and he lets me talk if I want to. You hear me?
Yeah.
Suggest this maybe, or suggest that, and then he understands. Don't always work, but it's no. But he made me love the business again, and that's the reason I, especially being with my son. See, I spent a lot of time with my dad on the road, teaching me my business, but right now I'm spending a lot of time with my son. Robert had his hip operated on.
Okay.
And but 40 years together, we had a fun. You understand me now?
Yeah,
it's time for me now to go spend some time with my son before I retire. But this is what I was telling you. I lost some weight. I want to take a walk down Broadway. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yep.
I want to go an hour.
Who is that appointment going to be? Who's that appointment?
I don't know. I got to find him.
Ric Flair?
I got to find him. I do a lot of seminars. I do a lot of other stuff, and I'm a talent scout. I look for talent. I'm looking for that diamond in the rough. And guys don't let me because I hadn't found him yet.
Okay.
It's not that you could do a Hurricane Corona. You could do that. No. I'm looking for that something that it's hard for me to explain to you. I'm looking for that something that's going to be it's hard to explain to you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that guy that nobody ever thought about, but damn, here he is. And I'm going to keep looking until I find him. No, I have a bunch of people. Ric Flair told me, he says he wished he would have had his last match with me. I mean, I ain't taking away from whoever he wrestled. I was there that night, but I left. But he, because I understand Rick, but God, I went 100-hour Broadways with him. You hear me? But I could have went to the ring and not worried about anything but Ric Flair, and just made him boom. Made it the way it used to be. Because I, needless to say and understand, I still work. I know how to work. You don't like I told you don't got to go out there and goddamn, give me a suplex off the top rope and I kick out on two. What the fuck are you doing? You don't have to do it. I know how to work. You see, and it's hard. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what was your best or your favorite feud you enjoyed in wrestling that you had?
Well, God, buddy, it's
I know it's a lot of them.
It's a bunch of them, but and I tell you this only, honestly. Robert and I made history with the Midnight Express in tag team wrestling. We made history. This is what really, us and the Midnight Express, and I'm just going to tell you, we blew territory doors off, buildings wasn't big enough to hold them. And I get a lot of feedback from guys because, boo, let me tell you, back in our day when we didn't have $200 million of advertisement to go into the show.
No.
We had TV every Saturday morning, buddy. And when you go and you sell these big auditoriums out, I mean, it's sold out. That's exciting. That was something that you never seen, and because I always tell this house was sold out. The guys rib me about it. But one of my ones is hanging off the rafters. I say, brother, but you got to understand. They didn't have fire codes, you didn't have all this stuff back in these old buildings. They have the big old rafters going across. Honestly, God, they were sitting on them rafters all the way across. I wonder if they didn't somebody fall off there and get killed. But when you never thought about it until, what? Robert and I were wrestling Butch Reed and Ron Simmons and Teddy Long in the Bahamas. And you're inside this, it's outside, but it's like a big rock wall with a big old fence around it. And people couldn't see. And there's a big old tree outside there. And I didn't notice it until I looked up in there and said, there had to be 200 people up in this tree. Right? And right there, our middle of the match, the limb broke. Look here, that body fell everywhere, man. It was. See, people don't understand that, man. Me and Teddy alone, I mean, we're trying not to laugh because, damn, they fell 20, 30 feet. Whenever it killed somebody.
Wow. So, was that the match where Robert tore his ACL?
No.
He tore his ACL in a match. That's why I thought one time.
All right. You want the truth?
Yes.
You want the truth?
Yes. Give me the truth. He tore his ACL.
I love the truth. Robert might not like it, but I like the truth. Like I told you before, if you tell the truth, you're never afraid to stand alone.
Okay.
And you're not. I come into Knoxville, Tennessee. This is WCW. And but we was wrestling Butch Reed and them.
Yes, that's
Butch
right.
Reed, Ron Simmons, and Teddy Long. And I noticed Robert was real quiet over there. And I walked in and said, Robert, what's up with you? He goes, I hurt my knee last night. I said, okay. And then when everybody went out of the door, I went over and asked him, I said, what's wrong with your knee? I said, you didn't hurt it last night. I'm with you last night. Boy, he pulled his pants down. His whole leg is black. And him and his wife got in an argument, and she ran over him in the car. That's just the truth. Okay, now I'm telling you the truth. Robert can deny it, but I'm not afraid to stand alone. But so I told him, I said, listen to me. And I did. Back then, you could find all kinds. I went and got a pain pill for somebody. And I told him, I said, take this. Now, when they play our music, I'm going to run out this curtain. I'm going to run up around people. And you get your ass to that ring and get up on the side of that apron without people noticing it. And you hear what I'm saying? Because and I got these people going, bum. I rock and roll. Nobody's even paying attention to him. He gets on the side of the ring, and I told him, I says, well, now I'm going to go about 10 minutes, and when I tag, you come through the rope, and just follow.
Wow.
Okay. That happened. And now, see, this is called mind over matter. Okay. When he fell, Butch Reed goes, damn. I said, God, you hear his knee pop? Yeah, I heard his knee pop. You see? Now, we didn't have contracts. Everybody else did. See, me and Robert we didn't have a contract. Well, needless to say, boom. We're working for, it's corporate. Gets hurt. They sent him to the University of Alabama to the best doctor in the damn country to rebuild his leg. Wow. They paid him $2,000 a week, and they couldn't find him for a year. He's supposed to have been back in three months or something like that. And they paid him all that. And that's when, that time, I didn't have a contract. But Dusty, he gave me they wouldn't let me have a contract. I don't know why. And yes, they didn't like me, but they made me part of the York Foundation.
Yes.
And that's
I was with Terry Reynolds over the weekend. She was in
I
New
like
York.
Terry.
She's a
Terry is
good
my
woman.
friend. And
Yes.
let me tell you something about the girls of our wrestling business. And I always respected all of them. And Terry even told me that one time. Terry goes, she just told me this not long ago. She says, "You're the only wrestler that never hit on me."
Wow.
Because I respected you. I'm in business with you. I never have. None of the wrestling girls. I never had a relationship with any wrestling girl. I never disrespect them in any form, any way. Now I work a lot of shows where they don't have dressing rooms, and I go get the promoter. We try to find them one. If they can't find one, I'll make everybody get out of the dressing room while they get dressed.
Wow.
And if they need anything, and the boys that dressing, don't take your clothes off in front of them. I mean, no, I don't go for that. I never have, and that was cool. And Terry, she said, "Wow, that's it's cool." I love Terry.
Wow.
I always have. Met her back. She's a makeup girl at TBS.
As we begin to wrap up, I just want to touch 217, the Hall of Fame. Who inducted you in the Hall of Fame, and how'd you get the call?
Oh, well, this is very cool. Now I'm gonna get hair. My hair is gonna stand up on my arms here. Vince McMahon. Really, this is cool. He said we couldn't have a real Hall of Fame unless the Rock and Roll Express was in it.
Wow.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm home, but when I leave, I always have my ring on. It's everywhere I go. I never been so proud of my life as somebody that appreciated us like Hunter and Vince did, especially when you're in the back room with them. And they're talking to you about what we accomplished. And don't get me wrong, everybody, the Young Bucks, and Matt Hardy and all them, they all know what Robert and I did for the business. And, and to be given the part of I always say this. I said, Robert and I are inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, and we never even wrestled here. Does that tell you anything about the Rock and Roll Express? So, and that's not trying to brag on myself. We wrestled 7 days a week, and you didn't have days off when you were hurt. You can't. When you're in Louisiana working for Bill Watson, you got 8,000 people that is paid to come through that door to see you. You can't tell them that my ankle's broke. I won't be there tonight. No, you went anyway. But you see, nobody even knew you were hurt, and I'm getting back because the guys knew how to work, and they knew how to take care of you without them people even knowing it. One time I was wrestling the Russians, and my shoulder popped out. And right in the match, I didn't know Nikolai. I was in there with Barry Durso, and Nikolai just ran right in. He did something, and boy, pop, it went right back in. Now, it hurt like hell. I couldn't even raise my arm for a week, but wrestle him every night, nobody knew. See, that's how good our business was in tag teams. But the honor of being put into the WWE Hall of Fame and being inducted by Jimmy Cornette was the coolest thing ever in the world. And I hope and pray that they put the Midnight Express in. And I hope that Robert and I can induct them into the Hall of Fame. Because I have so much. Did you know Bobby Eaton? Did you ever know Bobby?
I didn't meet Bobby Eaton, no, but I know
he was one of the best workers ever in our business.
Wow.
But when we were young, back in Mid-South, it was Dennis Condrey that controlled everything. Yeah. He was the oldest one, the more experienced. Oh, yeah. He's directing traffic. We're calling this sit in the ring. Man, we're going everywhere. But see what's so cool about our business working here. Then you have this good-looking Stan Lane come into the Midnight Express, prettiest man I ever saw. And he fit. I mean, he just, because Dennis left, and I don't know, and it was none of my business. But our angle just kept going up bigger, bigger, and bigger. See, that's people that know how to work and know how to fill shoes.
How come Bobby Eaton?
Go ahead.
How come Bobby Eaton didn't get a bigger push? He should have.
Well, Bobby was Bobby. People loved to work with him. Bobby never, if you ever ask anybody, you'll never hear nobody in the world say anything bad about Bobby.
No, you're absolutely right.
You never. But it wasn't a part about him getting a bigger push. Bobby didn't have the body of the guys that did today. Jimmy Cornette did all his talking for him. And it just didn't. But Bobby made money. He had that $250,000 a year guaranteed contract every year. So Bobby was one of my best friends. Matter of fact, right here at my house where I'm at here, he's lived here with us for a while. He went back to his wife, and I absolutely adored him. I loved Bobby. He was a sweetheart, man. But getting back to go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say getting back to the
Hall of Fame. Just get back to Jimmy Cornette putting us in the Hall of Fame. That was because Jimmy has a lot of heat with people. But it's not that. If everybody would stop to understand this, Jimmy's not doing nothing but cutting interviews on you. And if you don't like it, it's your damn fault. It's not, what he's sitting at home doing those podcasts is making a hell of a lot of money. You hear me? So I don't care if he says anything bad about me. At least he mentioned my name on it. A lot of people listening to it. And that's the way I feel about it. Somebody said, "What do you think about Cornette? He said this about us." He just shoot an interview. That's what sells tickets. That's what sells the podcast. So I'm gonna shoot it. You want to shoot one on me? So that way we not just we get this thing here going. Gosh, buddy.
Well, I know we have to wrap up with time, but Ricky, it's been an honor talking to you.
Let me stop for a minute, Joe. Where you live at, Joe?
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey.
New Jersey.
That's where I'm from, man. That's where Enzo's from. You know
exactly.
Enzo? You know Enzo?
Enzo Morton?
Yes.
Of course.
I love him too, man. What a character he is too. I love listen to me, guy, man. I love the boys and the referees and the girls who are our businesses. And they would tell you every show that I do, I tell everybody I love them before I go home. I can call Tommy Rich right now, and first thing he'll say to me, "Ricky, I love you." I love you too, Tommy. But that's just the way it is. And I want to tell you, have I ever met you, Joe?
No, but you haven't been up this way recently. Have you been in Jersey?
No, I haven't. You gonna be at WrestleMania?
No, but I was with James Ellsworth the other day. That Saturday. You know James?
Yes, I know James. I worked for him a couple times. Yes, I will see. But we'll be at WrestleMania. I'm going in on that Thursday, but I won't go to WrestleMania. I'll be at the signings. And I'll be wrestling for GCW.
Okay, where are you going to be wrestling? GCW?
In Philly. Yeah. I do a lot of shows for them. Me and my son both do. I like to say that. Give a shout out to Brett Lauderdale. I mean, he's what a great promotion he's got going on. You see, and it's crazy, but man, do I love going there, and do I love performing. But if I
would love to have your son on someday too, Kerry, upcoming wrestler. I'll talk to him.
Get a hold of him. You know what? And you'll see the difference. You know what, Ric Flair. I ran into him, and he told me, he said, "Ricky." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I met your son the other day." He said, "I have never met a kid so well-mannered, so respectful in my life." And you see, now that's a compliment. That's a compliment. Everything else is a trip downtown. But when he told me that, he asked me, he says, "Andrea here?" And that's my wife. I said, "No." "What's up?" He goes, "Oh, I want to find out who the real daddy is." Old bastard. Hey, you old bastard. I love every time it just happens. Me and Rick have this thing. I mean, when we lay eyes on each other, we lock up. I don't give a damn where we're at. We lock up, snatch a headlock.
Well, where else are you going to be? Where can people find you, or where's your?
Oh man, you can find me at on my Facebook, Ricky Morton.
Okay.
I have a YouTube show on School of Morton every Sunday at 5 o'clock. It's called SOM 505. It's live. It's from my school every Sunday. Maybe I'm not there, but sometimes. But we do everything, reductions and all that bullshit. And we teach all our guys how to do that. And we, in real Ricky Morton. And then you all do is look up Kerry Morton, my son, and you can
I spoke to Kerry.
But I'm around everywhere, man. I got to go to Wisconsin this weekend, and looking forward to that. I'm still all over the country. And
well, you got to come this way to Jersey.
Come to Jersey. I got lazy for a year or two, but then I lost myself 20 pounds, and dude, I'll go 30, 40 minutes. I love to, man.
I'd love to watch it. I'd love to watch you.
Oh, buddy, I love for you too. And then again, Joe, thank you so much for having me on here.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate
Ricky.
you. See, people like you is what keeps us alive. And thank you.
You're a legend, and thank you for everything. You're a legend.
Oh, buddy, thank you. You have a one to not. Hey, and I love you too.
Thank you. Love you, Ricky. I'll talk.